Welcome to the Your Leadership Legacy podcast. My name is Tina Paulus-Krause, and I'm so excited to bring you this next podcast dedicated to you high performers out there who want to reinvent yourself, reinvent your business, maybe your career, all of it. This podcast is all about being dedicated to transformation and being the best possible leader of yourself and others that you can be in order to create a legacy that lives on. Welcome to Your Leadership Legacy. My name is Tina Paulus-Krause. I am the founder and CEO of True You Teams. And here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to Your Leadership Legacy. My name is Tina Paulus-Krause, and I am so excited today because we have a really special guest on. Mel McSherry is with us today, and we're going to talk about all kinds of good things, and especially we're going to talk about the virus and stuff that's going on. So Mel, if you would just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you got going on, that would be amazing.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. So as you said, my name is Mel McSherry, and I am an international business development coach and speaker. I predominantly work with women business owners who are exhausted and overwhelmed by everything that they think they need to do to be successful, which I'm sure has just amplified buckets full in the last couple of weeks.
Right, and think being the key word there.
Think is being, like bold, italicized, underlined. And what I do is I slash their stress by showing them how to prioritize their time, their profit avenues, and themselves correctly so they can truly create what they want in the time that they have.
Right. So talk a little bit more about what they want. Why is that so important?
It's so important because it's so easy to get caught up in, again, it's in parallel with what they think they need to do, right? And that wraps into who they think they need to be. And women, we are so susceptible to other people's thoughts, opinions, energies. Men are as well, but I'm coming from, what I know. Right. And it is so easy to get caught up in what their partner wants or what they think they're capable of or what they think they deserve. And really identifying what you want in your business and having the permission to not only define that, but create steps around it. That is so game-changing on so many levels.
Yeah. So what do you think are a couple of things that hold women back from doing that? From just going into exactly where they know that their superpower is?
I think a lot of it comes from the fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. A lot of it, let's just face it, it is fear-based, but fear on different dynamics and different levels. So for me, and typically, you do work with who you are, who you were. Yeah. For me, it was, the fear of stepping out of the context I already built around myself, whether that was context that was given to me from my parents or my family members or my friends or even my ex-husband. The stories that I was creating for myself of how I thought I could fit in to make a difference. Yeah. I was holding myself back on really truly defining, no, what is it that I want and what can I do to get there? We tend to contain ourselves again in what we think we're capable of, not what we can actually work toward.
Yeah, or create, right?
Mm-hmm,
like we're capable of creating so much more. So I want to read your bio because I want to talk about the 2 successful businesses that you've started, right? So Mel McSherry, as an entrepreneur since 2010, Mel has launched 2 successful businesses, tripled her annual income, and become an Amazon best-selling author. Amazing. Congratulations. Yeah. All while raising an 8-year-old son. She has worked with thousands of people, slashing their stress by showing them how to prioritize their time, their profit avenues, and themselves correctly, again, keyword, so that they can create the business, money, and the life that they want fast. So there's a couple of keywords in your bio that I want you to dig into. One of them correctly and the other one fast. So I can tell that those are very specifically placed there. So talk to us more about that.
So when I say correctly, it is so caught up to put ourselves and what we want to do last, because we get caught up in what my mom coins the but first mindset. But first I have to do this, but first I have to do that. And we're caregivers naturally, whether you have a partner or family or not. We want to be providers and we're nurturers. And when I say prioritizing them correctly, I mean giving them the space to talk about the big picture, and then breaking it down to really simple, consistent, actionable steps. So every single day, they are truly defining their time, putting the boundaries around it. So they're always taking care of themselves, their business, and their things first, so they can actually be better providers for everybody and everything else.
Yeah, I'm hearing clarity, right? Like just being super
oh my God,
clear
yeah.
on what it is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get to kind of the time that we're in right now and stuff like that with the virus. But when you say fast, like what's the importance of fast there?
The importance of fast for me is having somebody actually taking steps, because anytime that you talk about something, I mean, for myself especially, and I've seen this with clients, we'll have a good idea or we'll have something that we want to create and we'll talk to our friends about it and we'll get the, oh, that's such a great idea. And then nothing. Like no way to break it down, no way to bring that into fruition, no way to really bring it into ideation, nothing. And so we stop ourselves, either that or we overextend ourselves by trying to create way too many, right? Way too many things.
Yeah.
And then that overwhelm and that exhaustion sets in, as well as, we start getting bad attitudes, going into debt and nothing. So fast to me isn't like 90 days or less or overnight. But it's definitely the fast path to laser focusing your time and energy to what you want, so you can bring it into fruition way faster than just talking a lot about it and then never really putting anything behind it.
And easier too, right? Like we have this way
easier.
of like, so like we run it around in our head and run it and run it, and then all of a sudden it's hard and it feels heavy and hard. And so like this beautiful idea that we had, we've now just self-sabotaged ourselves out of everything to not make it happen.
Exactly. I always use the picture of, it's like having that monster under your bed when you were little. You would sit there in the dark and it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And all you had to do was just shine one light underneath and you would just see it was nothing but a bunch of fuzzy, funny slippers.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, shining that light on it and giving it that laser focus will help you simplify it, and then just breaking it down from there, being actionable and sustainable.
Yeah. Talk about asking for support. Cause I know as women, we have this cape on us, right? And we're like, I got this. Yeah. I got it. I can do it. I don't need support, because our programming tells us that when we ask for support, we're weak or we don't know what we're doing. Right. Or like whatever, all that comes in. So talk to us a little bit about that.
The one thing that I always like to re-clarify or reframe for women especially is I don't think we have weaknesses. We just have not so muches. It's areas that we just haven't taken the time to really sit with or process or even just develop. So I don't believe anybody has a weakness. We just have our strong points and then our not so muches.
Our superpowers, right?
Right, exactly. We all have gifts. We all have talents. We all have things that we are naturally capable of doing or providing or, receiving.
Yeah.
But when it comes to those not so muches, that's what's actually going to make those superpowers and those strengths even stronger, because what you're doing is you're building that base even more securely than just always relying on this and then like pretending like that doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
So when I encourage people to ask for help, I always encourage them to first sit with those not so muches. And which one is actually the first one that can help create that sustainable base for your strengths, because they usually just snowball into each other. So we really only need help with a couple of things. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You're
in a new world. Anything
I know,
goes,
right? I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, but it's my dad and he's one of the VIPs. So he's probably asking about this whole state of things.
Amazing.
So
yeah. It's crazy. I have about 12 alarms on my phone now throughout the day.
So as I was saying, look at that first one that would help you strengthen that, not so much that will help you actually strengthen the rest of them, because there really is there's a priority to them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to strengthen all of them at once. But what's that first one that will just take those strengths and superpower to that next level? And then what's the next one that you can take the next step for? And all of a sudden, asking for help and strengthening yourself becomes natural.
Right. It actually kind of becomes fun after a while, right? It's like,
okay, totally. You learn so many new things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, not only that, but you start to see what strengths you really do have.
Yeah.
And those not so much as it's that fear of the unknown, right? But once we shine that light on it, I know for myself, it's definitely given me more confidence in, I'm not as dumb as I thought I was, or I do actually know something about this. And it just creates so many more opportunities for yourself.
Right, definitely. So tell us a little bit about this book, this Amazon best-selling book.
So it was an amazing opportunity that I got through the Dynamic Professional Women's Network, and it's a co-author opportunity. So it was me and about, I believe, 12 other women. And it was such a phenomenal way for me to share more about my story, because that is something else that I don't think women do a lot, is share their stories and share them in ways where they feel comfortable, but also it's a valuable resource for others. So the book is called Overcoming Mediocrity. And I shared how saying no to, so I have a saying that I talk about all the time, which is, in order for you to create what you want, you have to start saying no to the good so you can say yes to the best. And this chapter was about how I said no to my good marriage and created something better because of it. And I think it's so easy for women especially to get caught up in something that's, it's good enough. I'm good enough. This relationship's good enough. My offer's good enough. And we just keep ourselves stable or mediocre with that, where if we just really look at that and what we want and reprioritize, then saying no to those things that we thought was adding value to ourselves, we can start saying yes to things that's actually going to amplify that value and create even more opportunity for ourselves.
Yeah, I love that, especially in today's time, right? We've got the virus that's like hanging right here, and we don't really know what the future holds and where we're going in the future. And I've said a couple of times over the last couple of days, imagine a world where what you're talking about, what I'm hearing is like stepping into your power, right? Like not being, like letting go of that fear and letting go of the self-sabotage, and just really finding your superpower and stepping into your full leadership and your full power. And I keep thinking in my head, like, imagine a world right now where everybody did that. Even if we just take it to women, right? I know you focused primarily on women. Just imagine a world where every woman stepped into her full power, like what we could create on this planet right now. And so like the time is now. So tell me, with everything that you're doing, like what are some of the conversations you're having right now with some of your clients? Like where are things at with you right now?
I think the biggest conversation I've been having right now is helping my clients take a breath and pivot with this new dynamic. And I have said this, I know, over the last several phone calls, that I really think this is such a gift to us as entrepreneurs, as women, as leaders, because we're getting the gift of time. That's one of my, time management is one of my things. And I could probably retire a millionaire of how many times, like, I wish I had more time in the day. Here you go. Universe was like, and there you go.
And here you
Granted, everything else is going around it is not ideal. However, this is such a beautiful time for us to not only as business owners, really take a look at our business and stop getting lost in it and pivoting and seeing what we can do to be a value resource or to amplify what we already have. But as women as well, this is our jam. We're nurturers. We're supporters. Like, how can we pay that forward to each other? How can we pay that forward to our, our family, our community? But in turn, making sure that we're still prioritizing ourselves correctly and still honing in those boundaries and utilizing them to continue to, in parallel, create what we want.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think about, like, on the tail end of this, when we're coming out of this, about how much stronger that we will be as individuals and collectively when we make that choice, right? So individually, we all have that choice to make right here and right now. And so anybody who's listening to this, like, when you talk about choice, like, what would you say to them about choice?
Know that it's yours.
Yeah.
And it may not necessarily be easy, but it is simple. And so when you take that moment to really look at what are your choices, and again, what are you saying yes to? And is that truly aligned with what you still want to create? Being a business owner is not negated in this time. Nobody should be shying away from who they are, what they do, what they want to create. this is a time where we just really need to figure out how can we ensure that we're pivoting correctly to continue to build that.
Oh, yeah.
So don't feel like you're being selfish if you want to choose to work on your business or you want to choose this or other while everybody else is doing something different. Be confident in your choice because it's yours to make. You have full say on how you spend the time that you have.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's up to you on where you prioritize your time and energy and how that comes back to you mentally, emotionally, and financially.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I do, name my business is True You Teams, right? So it's all about teams and family teams. It's so amazing right now because like in family teams, we're seeing families really hunker in together and just spend quality time. And, you know, we don't do that in the hub. Like we haven't done that. And we get caught up in like this crazy rat race of life. And to really see family units calm down, you know, just like slow down and really hunker in, and to see teams of people in business, whether it's your own business or whether you're working on a team, you know, now teams are having to be remote. We were eyeball to eyeball for the last how many years I worked with you. And now I have, you know, now we're all remote. And so how do we move through that in a positive way so that at the end of it, we are stronger than we were before? And that's really where the choice comes in.
Exactly. And I think we're going to see such amazing changes moving forward in profitability in regards to remote working and all of that, as well as just how to utilize these amazing applications like Zoom and social media in the ways that they were intended to be used. And getting back into how can we still create relationships, you know, that are profitable mentally and emotionally and even financially with being socially separated. So I really am excited to see how cultures change in corporations, how options change, and just people's point of view in a positive way, how they're going to pivot with this and what are the new things that we're going to create because of it.
Yeah, it's like the universe saying, okay, y'all get to slow down. I mean, we were kind of like in this, like I talk a lot about the future of work and AI coming and how that will replace jobs and all of that kind of stuff, right? And I don't think people were really prepared for that. And I believe that like this is an opportunity for us to really, really get prepared for that and go into it maybe in a new and different way. So it's super exciting.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So the name of the podcast is Your Leadership Legacy. So as we wrap this up, Mel, what is the legacy that you're aspiring to leave?
The legacy I'm aspiring to leave is that, you know, is helping women and supporting women as they truly create what they want. So really helping them understand and connect to what they want, the time that they have, and how can they use it profitably for themselves, again, mentally, emotionally, and financially. So giving women that space to have that big picture, having the ability to break it down into, you know, very simple, sustainable, consistent steps. So every day they are 100% them. They're filling their cup, and that way pulling it forward and paying it forward to others all around them.
That's beautiful. I love it. Tell me, like, I have one more question. I thought I was done. I have one more question.
Okay.
So how, like, that's when I hear your words and the work that you do, it's such a gift for women, such a gift for women. I had somebody that helped me like find my way, coaches along the way, all that. So tell me, like, if somebody's out there going, how is that a gift? How is it a gift when you can work with somebody? Give us maybe a success story or an example of like you took somebody from here to there based on the work that you do, because I want everybody to really be crystal clear about what a gift this is.
Wow. It's, you know, here's one thing that I do love to talk about when it comes to the results of my clients is I love that the results of my clients are not only financial based, but again, also mentally and emotionally. Because as I said, like a million times, to me, profitability is all of those three areas.
That's amazing.
If you're missing one of them or two of them, the rest are just not going to make any more sense. So of course I have amazing testimonials, like even just helping women clarify their message that is connected to their business. I had a phenomenal client who in our first week together landed 4 new clients and added, you know, $5,000 to her bottom line. And on the flip side, I have a client that we're in the middle of working with each other, and I'm helping her create her signature talk. And the clarity that she's just gotten on who to talk to and how to talk to them. I actually shared her testimonial on my Instagram a couple days ago that she's like, I didn't know I was talking to all the wrong people, and I felt like I was lost in the wilderness. And all of a sudden, I now know exactly where I want to take this and where I need to go and how I need to talk to them and why.
Yeah.
And those things, again, just the clarity, like I'm getting goosebumps, but that clarity is such a gift. And I love that people think that they can do it on their own, but we just talked about that. It's stuck in your head, and you're not going to get clear unless you get it out. You let somebody who is supportive and unbiased really help you hone that in. And then that way, just the steps of how to share it and how to build it just naturally fall in line and become clear every single day.
Oh, that's beautiful. I got goosebumps too. When we find our clarity as females, like, and again, it's not even just female based, right? But like when an individual finds their clarity, and when I say find clarity, I mean, like, I get my superpower now, and I have my leadership in me to step forward into that superpower and just be who I am. When somebody, especially business owners, when they get the right messaging and it clicks, that's huge. Like, that's a huge gift. So that's where I was going with that. Because now they can
definitely, because it's not only that clarity, but it's that you're pronouncing yourself. And I think it's so easy for us to pussyfoot around it and to just quietly say that we do this. But when you really have that message where you can set your foot down and you can tell somebody in a very emotional, authentic, connecting way of who you are, the problem that you solve, how you solve it, and the results you give, like, that is just that internally gives you so much more power and confidence to create those other steps for yourself and those opportunities.
Totally. And like, as like a final comment, like, the time is now. The time is now.
Yes,
the world needs you really bad right now. The world needs every single one of us to really find that clarity and really take that superpower and take it out into the world and help people, and we get to get this whole world through what we're in, and just find tons of opportunity. So I want to thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you, Tina.
I love your energy. I love who you are. I love your mission. I love what you're doing. And you got big things to do in this world. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And thank you so much for giving me the space and the opportunity. It was absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, everybody, go check out Mel. Where can people find you? I forgot to ask you that. So give your web address and all that good stuff.
Sure. So actually my website is under construction right now. So stay tuned for some awesomeness. Probably the fastest way is to connect with me on LinkedIn. And again, my name is Mel McSherry, or you can find me on Instagram, and that's @Mel_McSherry. But those are the quickest ways to stalk me and get a hold of me. And I'm here to support every single one of you in any way that I can.
Awesome. Stalk her, everyone. Stalk her.
Stalk away.
Thanks, Mel. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next time. Bye. My name is Tina Paulus-Krause, and I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Check out our programs and events at trueyouteams.com. And until next time, make it an amazing day.